now?
Yes, it's your screen.
Okay. I will be presenting, talking about Expat Insider survey. And I will be dealing with this series of surveys regarding some methodologies and results. Then I will concentrate on a rank of Kuwait. So let me just give you a quick introduction about, brief about this platform and which launched this survey. This is a very large expat platform, which is a German one, founded in 2007. They have 4.1 million members from around the world, and they have different activities. Most of them are personal. So they have some activities after COVID, online activities, but most of their activities are personal. They held more than 6,000 events every year, and they have different kind of members, which they allow you in different features you can enjoy, as most memberships. From 2014, they started doing an annual survey to ask their members from around the world about their life in such countries and what make them happy, satisfied, and what make them not happy. So they have those, as you can see, the number of countries and the number of participants and the data collection of the of each survey. So they have a different methodology, and this methodology is not stable. They had some changes from the beginning of their starting year, and they have also some conditions, or let me say, characteristics of their methodology. Like, for example, they have to be minimum of 30 respondents in order to have questions about raising children, 75% in different issues. So this is, and they have different scales, and this scale is changing. They're adding, as most of indexes, they are adding different indicators, main indicators and sub indicators. So this is quickly the kind of scales, and they are usual, like Likert scale 4 to 5, and different issues they have regarding the percentage and how they express the findings. Those are the main sub-indicators, the indicators and sub-indicators, like quality in life, and you can see what's inside the quality in life, and also ease of settling in, working abroad, family life, personal finance. And as you can see, this is a detail what each indicators they have below those sub-indicators. So let me just go quickly, 2016, 2017, 18 and 19, you can see what's there. And we jumped from 19 to 21 due to COVID. They didn't have this annual survey. So this is the last, let me say, shape of the index they have and the indicators inside this survey. So let's go quickly on the results they have since from 2014 till 2021. You can see the top countries who got the best rank in for expat people, and they are changing as you can see in the next years. But you can see at the bottom countries they have, and Kuwait, which is I would concentrate on, is one of the, or the most countries that was in the bottom of the list. This is in 2015, and as you can see the countries, the top 10, the bottom 10 in 2016 and top 10, 2017, Bahrain was number 1, and 2018 also Bahrain, and the bottom different countries, as you can see, Taiwan in 2019 and Taiwan in 2021. So this is the shape of the which is in their reports, as you can see. In Kuwait, to concentrate on, for me as an expat working in Kuwait and for maybe 7 years and more, and leading a research center there, Word of Opinions, I just thought that this is something unusual to have this kind of results, or what's happening on, what can be done. If there is something wrong, we should deal with it, as I can recommend at the end of the presentation. As you can see, the rank of Kuwait in 2014, 61 out of 61, and you can see the sub indicators, 60 out of 61 in quality of life, ease of setting 61 out of 61, working abroad 59, and so on. This is also in 2015, 64 out of 64, which means the last country. In 2016, 67 out of 67, and you can see the different sub-indicators, which most of them are low. Sometimes working abroad regarding finance can be better, and cost of living, 49 out of 65, but still at the end. In 2018, 68 out of 68, and 2021, 19, 64 out of 64, and also in 2021, 59 out of 59. So we have 7 years of this survey, and Kuwait unfortunately was the last. Only one was before the last, 2017. So, and this is analyze what's more makes expats not happy and not satisfied that made this survey. This is just some details that there's no time to explain. But as you can see, like for example, they don't feel they don't have a local friend. They express regarding of let me choose just one of the 59. They said that the low chances of making new friends also is a low percentage. Settling in, 56 said they don't feel at home. They find settling is difficult. This is we can go through all of this, but as you can see, some indicators are going low. This is maybe the last parts that I will end off, which is discussing the result and trying to give some recommendations. So why is this? Why this is a big question for us, and especially the media is talking about this locally, because Kuwait is such a freedom country. So some local newspaper mentioned this bad result. One of the things that I might think about, which is about the nature of the platform, such methodology, and also maybe the freedom or the nature of the country. So regarding the nature of the platform, the Expat International platform is a kind of a closed environment for people who are, let me say, wants to live a Western life regarding activities. Of course, there are different activities. They do volunteering, they do education, they do business, they do sport, they do entertainment. But this is will be according in Kuwait, because some of the activities might not be allowed. Some activities are illegal, such like drinking alcohol, some dances, some mixed female and males, not allowed. So that might make some expats unhappy of this regarding this questions. And also in Saudi Arabia, by the way, similar, at least last years. So they made also, they have a bad rank regarding this. Another issues that might be made the results of Kuwait a little bit low, that maybe people in even expats in Kuwait, they feel free to maybe criticize the environment. As I said, there is such a freedom of speech. So those are some of the questions that might appear. Also, there are some methodology, like there are some ways for some regarding some issues might be taken more weight than usual. So that might be one of the reasons. That's why some, like for example, in finance, Kuwait is a wealth country and low-cost country. So that's wondering why it's not getting more or a high rank regarding those sub-indicators. Let me jump in quickly so I cannot be not take more time. What should be done, which is very important for people there, and this is maybe some recommendations for the government to try to understand what's happening on, try to get involved in some decisions to make people's life expects are more happy in that, so it will reflect in this survey. Some recommendation for people, local people, to get involved more in with non-Kuwaitis, and this maybe I forget to mention this, that when we have a more expats than the local people, because we have 2/3 of the people living in Kuwait are non-Kuwaitis, and we have only 1/3. Does this affect that local people feel that they are a minority in their country? Will that affect their attitudes toward locals and the country as well? And by the way, I might mention to a study that we did for the ILO, International Labour Organization, where we asked Kuwaiti people, survey and elite people, about their attitudes toward low-profile workers there, and we understood that the crowded area and the small space in Kuwait made people angry of the crowded, let me say, crowded environment, which made them unhappy with that. So those are different recommendations. Also for expats, they maybe get along more and more in some activities, and also to adapt from the policymakers to adopt some decisions that made people more happy on living in Kuwait and other things. So those are some recommendations. Maybe we don't have time to do it to look at them, but I stop here and thank you very much.
Start. My question is for Samir. So he's the first one who presented. Samir, through your presentation, I was asking myself, what was this organization? So I went to see, because you've put the reference. In the report, we do not have any information about how many people from living in each country we have, and this is really problematic, because you can have, I don't know, 100 or 200 people in one country, and perhaps only 5 people in Kuwait, and those ones are not happy to be there. Perhaps they've been sent by their company, or I don't know. But and we don't have information also about why these people are expat. Like, they can be expat for their own will. I want to go have a career there, or they are forced to go in a country. So I'm wondering. I thought it was interesting to see the ranking. I was surprised that Canada is not first, but that's the joke. But I think this information has to be taken, I wonder if it would be possible to ask this organization to give more information on its methodology, and mostly, information about how many people they have in each country, and why are these people there?
This is a very good question there. I even asked myself when I saw the reports, what's the sample? How did you choose them? For example, I did a test that I sent an email to them from my Hotmail to join the organization, and they refused me. Then I sent an email from my formal email, Gulf Opinions. I was at that time. and they accepted me. So I know exactly what's happening there. And this happened also with one of my friends. So we don't know the methodology when to accept members and when to refuse them. So this is something weird. And also and I mentioned this maybe in the methodology part, that we don't know even the sub. How did you get them? How do you know that they are even local? Because when I went into as a member, I found that even if someone inside the country, he joined, even if he's not an expat. Maybe he just writes his name is whatever nationality is, because there is nothing that they show us how they check. They didn't call me. They didn't ask for my passport, my residence. Just email and you got accepted or not. And as a matter of fact, there is a company that they mentioned its name. Let me just put it on the chat, because it says data provided by independent market research, GmbH, which is, when I checked it, it seems that it's a German one. So we don't know exactly the relation or the methodology if it's a research center. So that made me weird. But this is a big survey. They're publishing it in the media everywhere. Yeah.
Okay, so sorry, Arundhati, can I pose my question?
Please do answer.
Okay, thank you. Hi, Carl.
Okay, it could be negative, but I was thinking more of the positive. Which one is more? What is going to make them? What is the best measure of saying that yes, these people are feeling included in given Kuwait society, the society in Kuwait, the specific composition there. So.
Yeah, well, there are some advantages that might be. I visited maybe 23 countries and lived in 5 countries for more than 1 year. So what I find is regarding financial life, easy life, service, because it's a small country, so you feel everything is there. There are a lot of companies you can find. So this is one of the negative, positive that I think should be reflected in the indexes. I think there are some negative things that regarding in getting involved with the local people. That's something negative. And because you feel that there are 2 stages of people, because wealth countries, the Gulf countries, the citizen has more benefits, much more than the non-citizen, regarding payment, employment, financial aid. So, and even in some countries, they live in where they don't live with the non-Kuwaitis together, because they have houses, they have more. Even if he don't have his own house, but the young man might live with his family in a big house. So that makes you feel that the society that it's separated because of the situation. So that, I think that's not good, and that might increase prejudice without their feeling, and they should do that. Even if they're Western people, like from the United States, Europe, they don't get along with the locals. So that's also they should think about it. Even if he's a wealthy man or women, they don't get that much involved together. So is it different culture? I don't know that they should think seriously about it. Even if we talked about the methodology issues and problems. But for example, in Bahrain is a country, also a Gulf country. It's wealthy, but not as is Kuwait. And they have also expect a large number, but it became 2 years number 1. So this is something confusing of these things that I'm trying to think about, because you have a similar country. Of course, Bahrain is an open country. It's like Dubai. You can find everything there, entertainment. So if this is an issue that entertainment is making the rank high, there is something problem with the ranking or the entertainment issue. That's my thoughts about that.
Thank you. And I have one last thought. If anyone else has anything, but I have one last question. Thomas, do you have anything to ask? Or